Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern. Here to talk about everything professional wrestling, all the action inside and out, all the rumors backstage and the juicy drama. Also, superstar news, injuries, contract, updates and stuff like that. I hope you guys are having a great, Tuesday. It is a beautiful Tuesday night in Southern California. For me, wherever you're listening from, I hope you guys are, having fair weather, and I hope you guys are enjoying each other's company really, really well. All right, so thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today on tap. Today we have our WWE Monday Night Raw review, and then we're going to talk about some NXT preview for tonight. And then we're going to jump on into my third segment. We're going to talk about WWE Bad Blood and the Hell in the Cell match that's kind of made it, kind of relevant, kind of prominent. The reason why people love watching, Bad Blood, you were going to get a Hell in the Cell match out of it as a WWF/WWE fan. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about in our fourth segment, we're going to talk about Randy Orton getting a 5-year deal, getting his 5-year extension, which is pretty cool. We're going to talk about his contract and what the future holds for the Legend Killer. And fifth segment, every single Tuesday, we jump into my wrestling DeLorean, where I take you guys in the past on this day, August 13th, when we talk about some pivotal moments that happened in the professional wrestling industry. Just something cool, fun, something cool, just to talk about, you know what I mean, us wrestling fans. But before we get into any of that, I want to remind you guys to use this chat right here, the super chat, the super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. We love hearing from you, during the show, guys. Whether if you have a burning question or if you have a hot take inside the professional wrestling industry, or if you just have something that you've been dying to share, we are all ears here at the GSMC Sports Network. This show is about keeping the conversation lively, making sure your voice is part of the mix. So don't be shy. Drop your thoughts and questions inside the chat. If you really want to make sure your comment or question gets noticed and read on air in front of millions of people, why not use the super chat box? Why not use a super sticker? Because you guys are super awesome. Just hit the $ below the chat box, send in your message, and it's guaranteed to get featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way to support our channel. Your support chats helps us keep the lights on and bring you even more wrestling content, the content that you love so much. We're so grateful, obviously, for each and every one of you watching right now, staying tuned to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast. Your support, makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let the good times roll. Send in some super chats, and together we'll make this show bigger, better, stronger than ever. Once again, if the super chat is not your thing, we are still live at the GSMCpodcast.net. Go ahead and hit the tips and donations link. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Give me some of your takes. Make sure you Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's get this done here. All right, so let's talk about some Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was actually, it was pretty lively. It was, a lot of stuff to cover. So let's go ahead and dig on into it. So Rhea Ripley kicks off the show. It was pretty cool. It was a great promo by Rhea. She was engaging with the crowd, which was a really, really good, really good sign, showing that she's totally going to be a babyface. Pat McAfee said it, probably the best. He said, Rhea Ripley has gained the respect of the WWE Universe. And then, she was wisecracking. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio showed up, and she said, "The knife that you stabbed in my back, Dominic. I'm sure you hear this a lot. It was not deep enough." So that was pretty damn funny. I got to be honest. She said, so I'm a man that Dominic Mysterio said, I'm a man that deserves to be treated like one. Liv Morgan lets me, be myself, play video games. She gets me chicken tendies. Like, oh my God, it was I was like, dude, is this guy for real right now? Is this guy for real saying this? I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of cool. Uh, so then, they're talking trash. She said, Liv Morgan did something for me, Rhea, that you could have never done. It's helped me beat my deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio. And Rhea was like, you know what? Like, I'm happy that you kind of grew up. You were, you held gold. You were a champion. But, you kind of had to go out there and kind of defeat your dad yourself. And, if you would have conquered that, that demon that's been haunting you so much of beating your deadbeat dad, I'm pretty sure the victory would have been, would have meant a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like she was definitely like at the same time, she was kind of justifying what she did during her time in the Judgment Day, kind of showing you kind of letting the WWE Universe in just a little bit there. Kind of you're like, yeah, honestly, I'm gonna own up to my mistakes. 1,010%. That's what the WWE Universe loves. That's what people love about a big baby face, which she's she's kind of heading toward. Damien Priest came back to attack Dominic Mysterio from the back. Liv Morgan was even trying to help, trying to help protect Dom, which was kind of funny. And then you saw, Carlito come out. Then you saw, no, I think JD came out later in the match. I'm not too sure. After the match. So then that's when the match started. It started Damien Priest, versus Carlito. Pretty much a match we all kind of knew coming. It was like a trap. It was a trap. Damien Priest easily, knocks off Carlito and, leads to an attack on Damien Priest. Jaden McDonough comes out. Finn Balor gets the best of him for now. But then, Rhea Ripley comes out and they circle Finn Balor. Finn Balor looks like he has absolutely nowhere to go. Finds a way to squirms out of there. And then Dominic Mysterio, naively, like stupidly comes off the top rope, looking like he's trying to hit Rhea Ripley, which is kind of crazy. Damien Priest grabs him, catches him by the throat. And then once again, Liv Morgan saves her man. Kind of crazy, kind of crazy. All right, next you see Ivy Nile advise in a promo backstage, Maxxine Dupree to kind of stay in the back. You don't have to go out there. And she was like, no, I have to. I have to be with these guys. They need me. And Ivy Nile was like, all right, then what's gonna happen is gonna happen. And right then and there, I was like, all right. So you have the Pitbull going heel, joining the Creed brothers, which is, kind of the right move. I kind of like that. She kind of really served no purpose, kind of being on her own, still being friends with Maxxine. That's going to be a cool little, a little feud, a little rivalry going on in the women's division on Monday Night Raw, which they kind of need. You know what I mean? Like, I'll get more into it, a little later when we start talking about it. So next we see an Uncle Howdy promo. Not entirely sure how to interpret this one, guys. I'm a huge Uncle Howdy fan. I love the Wyatt Six. I love Bray Wyatt when he did this stuff with the Wyatt family. But this one kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, dude, like, what is it? Like, I think I was lost. I gotta be honest, I was lost. And then like he was just basically saying, Uncle Howdy told Bo Dallas that the war must continue, and then Bo Dallas kept screaming over and over again, my life for you, my life for you, my life for you. And it was just, I don't know, just, a little bonkers, a little, it's a little far fetched, but, I guess it serves its purpose. You know what I mean? And next we see Kofi Kingston and Odyssey Jones obviously looking excited to be together. A person who was not excited, Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods looked conflicted. It looked like he was, there's never been a new member of the New Day. You know what I mean? And just because Big E, kind of fell off. Maybe there's some kind of territory there. And it's kind of funny how, like, WWE fans picked that up right quick. And then in the next promo, you had Odyssey Jones, defeat a jobber. I think the guy was Cora Jade's fiance or something like that, which is kind of funny. So then, Karrion Kross puts it out there. He puts it out in the world that Odyssey Jones is trying to replace, Big E, Big E, you know what I mean? And you could see like Xavier Woods wasn't really he wasn't really fighting it. He wasn't really, disputing the fact or like doubting it. He was like, you know what, like, I kind of get that feel, you know what I mean? Like, but it's crazy to break up the New Day. It's I think if they do break up, perhaps it could lead to a juicy couple of months. You know what I mean? We talk about this podcast all the time. Sometimes you could have tag teams break up, go on as singles wrestlers, and it just becomes absolute trash. Right now, who's the Intercontinental Champion? Bronn Breakker. Xavier Woods really have a chance against him? No. Who's the WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Gunther. Does Xavier Woods really have anything against him? No. Who holds the tag team titles? The Judgment Day, JD McDonough and Finn Balor. Can New Day possibly make a stab at that again? I think, yeah. I think, that'd be a great way. But I don't, I think it's to the point where I think the New Day has been around WWE for so damn long, that, they kind of have seniority where it's like, you know what, in terms of like, creative fixtures and, storylines and stuff like that, it's a touchy subject. It's a touchy subject because the New Day together is so damn good. It's so damn good. When they're clicking, they're funny. Kofi Kingston called the Final Testament the Final Testicles, which was pretty badass. I liked it. It was pretty cool. Um, so I don't know. It should be interesting to find out. Next week, it's a six-man tag team match. You have the New Day with Odyssey Jones taking on the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, and Authors of Pain. All right, so then we have Drew McIntyre. We have a promo with Drew McIntyre backstage with Adam Pearce. Obviously, he was told that CM Punk was not there. Turns out he was, which I will get into that. Randy Orton getting a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. That's once when Drew McIntyre brought that up, I couldn't agree more because that was on the mind of every wrestling fan. They're like, okay, all of a sudden now Randy wants to invoke that he was screwed over at the King of the Ring. Why couldn't this have happened sooner? And yeah, that's true. That's 1,010% true. Why did they have to wait for this? Why did they have to bring a SmackDown superstar in to challenge Gunther? It's yeah, I that was kind of a hole in the plot on Monday Night Raw that I was, kind of like, all right, I wonder when they're going to address this. I wonder when they're going to address this. I wonder when they're going to address this. And then it just never kind of came around, and I was like, man, I can't believe they're not going to address this. And then it took a promo by Drew McIntyre backstage to bring it up, and it's kind of crazy, but it's true. It's true, 1,010%. Next, we see American Made take out American Alpha due to the Ivy Nile heel turn. It was pretty crazy. Maxxine Dupree was stretched across the announce table, and she was just writhing in pain. There was a point where I think it was after the match where Michael Cole and Pat McAfee were like, "Can we get some help out there?" And they kept talking about the next thing that was going to happen, and you just see Maxine Dupree on the table. She's like, ah! Like it just looked kind of. I don't know. I kind of chuckled a little bit. I was like, dude, okay, that was kind of funny. You know what I mean? Maybe maybe sold that way too much there, but I don't know, it was kind of crazy. So American Made gets a W on the board. But before the match, you saw Oba Femi, the NXT North American champion, inside the crowd. Obviously, he has an open challenge tonight on NXT. Hinting that Otis is going to be the guy. 1,010%. Can't wait to see that match tonight. We got two big guys, two big Goliath behemoths of a men. Should be pretty badass. Next, you see that WWE SmackDown is coming to the USA Network September 13th, on the US on the network. So, it's kind of fitting that they're probably, kind of, mixing stars a little bit. My best bet is, maybe, just maybe, you kind of have an announcement where Monday Night Raw and and the SmackDown kind of collaborate a little bit. You're gonna have the Netflix move January something, but the beginning of January, and you're gonna have a solid. You're gonna have like a solid 3 months. No, yeah, no, three. You're gonna have like a solid 3 months where you could, I don't know, you could just play around with some things. You can, you could, I think that they're going to redraft 1,010%. They're going to definitely redraft the beginning of January. So, because usually the WWE draft is in April, kind of mimicking the NFL draft and stuff like that. But, now that Fox is not included with the WWE no more, and you kind of see it all. Like I watched the Colin Cowherd, the Colin Cowherd show, the Herd. I watch what's the other one? I watch not First Take. I'm not a huge fan of First Take. I watch Undisputed. I watch, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't even remember the show name. That's crazy. But whenever you see commercials for SmackDown, it just seems so old. It just seems like commercials they've been airing ever since SmackDown first came on the network about like 2 years ago. Like it's crazy. That's how kind of like non-existent. Like Fox is like, what? Like I guess we don't have a lot of wrestling fans watching on Fox here. Just well, during once when SmackDown is not on. You know what I mean? So yeah. Like I said, we saw Damage Control take on Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. Then you saw the Unholy Union disrupt the match. The match was kind of pointless. 1,010%. I was like, dude, like, why is this happening? I think it, kind of diminishes the women's division a little bit. It kind of diminishes this new this new faction that Sonya Deville, like they had a head of steam. Now it kind of seemed like they faltered a little bit. And then now you only have Io Sky and Kyrie saying the last two members of Damage Control who are not injured, but trying to serve a purpose within the Monday Night Raw roster. And it's just I don't know, it just seems like it's a dead end right now. They need to bring those two women's titles, the mid card titles, quick. They're super, super quick. I guarantee you that. Then you see Randy Orton come out saying that he wants to be champion. He wants to be a 15-time world champion. Gunther comes out, of course, saying that he's the screw up of the family. And to be honest, I was kind of impressed. You never really seen anybody like kind of punk Randy like that. Kind of left them speechless there. So obviously this kind of playing into the new persona of Gunther. Then of course you saw Drew McIntyre come out, and then they start going at it with each other. Then you just see Gunther and Randy Orton kind of disappear into the mist. And I was like, okay, like I don't know, that kind of sucked. It kind of overshadowed it a little bit. I was like, all right, I get it that you want to promote this badass rivalry. You wasted the Money in the Bank briefcase on it, and now you have these guys interrupting a promo for Bash at Berlin. Like, I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. I think they're doing too much. The Miz lost to Bronson Reed. Poor R-Truth was the victim. Got attacked by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is projected to be suspended by Adam Pearce. Bronn Breakker defeated Sami Zayn in sudden death. They were tied 1-1. Sami got the first, but you saw the spear at the end. So, off the top rope, and then bam, down goes Sami Zayn. And still WWE Intercontinental Champion Bronn Breakker. All right, so now we're going to move on to our second segment. We're going to talk about some NXT preview. Obviously, it's airing right now. I got it taped right now. I have not checked a single shred of social media, so I can't wait to give it a gander. So, but just go ahead and sit tight. We're going to get into it as after this break. So hey, stay tuned.